Big episode, big week. So I went to my first networking event. I'm showing you what I'm going through with the podcast, with emailing guests. We had the Scott Clayton episode recently, which was good. I'm also going on stage. So like I said, I'm doing my first speech in a few weeks. So I'm just working on that. And I'd like to tell you guys what I'm going to actually be talking about. So the idea behind the speech, I'm going to be talking about my 3 pillars. So number 1, it's saying yes to things, whether or not it pushes you out your comfort zone or not. So for example, this event, this speech, I'm terrible at public speaking. So I thought, say yes to it. And we'll just see how it goes. The second pillar is discipline over motivation and the importance of it. Throughout this episode, I'm going to talk to you a bit about that and also my plan about how I'm going to deliver it in my speech as well. And lastly, the third one is just start, whether or not that's just making content, building that business. I think Douglas Kruger speaks on that in my episode.
So at the smallest possible level, it's like, get up on that stage and speak. Put that video onto YouTube, onto TikTok, onto Instagram. Get it out there. Become a face and a voice in the public consciousness.
And I'll try find some clips of my first episode on this podcast. It took me 2 hours to do a 10-minute podcast. But it's talking about just starting, just picking up the camera, publishing that video on YouTube, on Spotify or whatever, see what people think, and then just keep improving. And that's what I'm trying to do along the way, just trying to improve each episode I go, whether that's just making the intros better, guests better, the questions better, and yeah.
I came on my first stage when I was in China 7 years ago. I mean, Beijing, I had to go a long way to come on stage. That was a bit of a frightening thing.
I started off on this journey some 25 years ago. And if this is the beginning of the world of professional speaking for you, wow, welcome to a mixed bag.
So this is Douglas and Claire. So these are 2 judges out of the 5 for the speaker factor. And the reason why they started this is because they wanted to bring a stage to Jersey for professional speakers, potential professional speakers. And I have added their LinkedIn in the video as well. So if you would like to connect with them on LinkedIn, you can. I wanted to go back to talking about my second pillar of my speech that I'm hoping to do next month. This was about discipline over motivation and the importance of it. How I remember discipline and motivation is that motivation is a spark, which you will always get throughout parts of your life, whereas discipline is the engine. So the key to remember is, if you rely on motivation, if you rely on these little sparks in your life, you're never going to start, as you don't have the engine. You don't have the discipline. So currently working on this episode, editing, trying to get it out for Monday. Rocco, my dog, keeping me company. Rocco. You got Millie over there. Yeah, I just wanted to speak about challenges that I'm facing with the podcast and outside of the podcast as well, with fitness and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm trying to juggle my degree, full-time work, and the podcast, as well as fitness and football and stuff like that. But the one challenge that I'm facing that I can't fit in is reading. I started reading the co-founder of LinkedIn's book, all about AI and innovation, but I just couldn't get into it. So I've started reading Mind Over Miles, just because it's about fitness. And I think if I can finish this, I can get into all the AI and innovation book. So I'm going to start this today, read 10 pages today, try and do that every single day. But that's one of the challenges that I'm facing. I just want to stop there for a minute and share what I learned the other day through a podcast. Did you know that just 6 minutes of reading can reduce stress levels up to 68%, which is more effective than listening to music, having tea, or even a short walk? I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed, it's either a short walk or the PlayStation comes out. But think how much more productive you could be if you just read for 6 minutes every day. If you can leave in the comments, anyone's starting something like this and they're facing a similar challenge to this, let me know. I'd love to know how you fit fit in that time. The second challenge that I'm facing is to do with the podcasts, and that is emailing guests, reaching out to guests. Obviously, you get a few people that ghost you, don't respond. A few people text back saying they're busy, which is understandable with their businesses and stuff like that. But then you do get the few people that actually say yes to it, and I'm always really grateful for people even coming back to my email. I think I mentioned in the first episode, solo episode, about Douglas Kruger, Hall of Fame speaker. He was the first guest that actually volunteered to come on the podcast, which I loved. And this is the sort of thing that I want to do for the podcast, almost like a website that I could set up for the podcast, that actually for people that can put their name in, type in what message they want, and they can send me an email to say that I want to come onto the podcast because I have a message to share. This is what I want for the Island Driven podcast, rather than me outreaching people and say, do you want to come on? Which I can still do, but I'd love for people to see that website and say, I've got a message, I want people to hear it, let me come onto your podcast. Just want to quickly talk about something before I leave. I want to talk about the Slido idea for the podcast. Obviously, I always go on about how I want the podcast to be a community-based podcast. So I don't want it to just be me talking and me learning stuff. I want everyone to be learning from the guests that I bring onto the show. So if you are someone that is listening and watching these podcasts, you need to be thinking, well, I want you to be thinking, this is a good opportunity for me to network with these people. The idea for the Slido, normally it's anonymous when you guys submit your questions, but you can make it not anonymous by putting your name underneath your question. So the idea for the Slido, to make it a more networking opportunity for you guys when you're submitting your questions, is to put your name underneath your question, or if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Instagram or stuff like that, any social media, you put your URL link underneath the question, and say if you submitted a question to Claire Boscq, who is my second guest on the podcast, if I read out the question and say, this is from da-da-da, and she goes, that's a really good question, what's their LinkedIn? You can network with the people that I'm interviewing. That's kind of the idea, and that's what I'm going to be starting for the next guest. So if you guys want to network with the people that I am interviewing, all you have to do is put your LinkedIn or put your name or put any social media link, and you can network with them people. Thanks, guys.